right, so welcome everyone. Have I hit the record button? Yes, I have. All right, so welcome everyone. This is surreal because essentially we kind of started this channel a year ago um, to kind of help people understand more about the EPGP program. And interestingly, today I'm sitting with a bunch of new joinees who will be joining us in the new cohort, which is EPGP 2027. So first thing first, I think congratulations to all of you. It's not at all easy to get into one of the top B schools in India. Um, it's super rigorous. पढ़ाई बहुत करनी पड़ती है, lots of sacrifices. So first thing first, huge pat on your back. Congratulations. Second, let's start. So I think let's start with like introducing yourself because even I don't know you. So yeah, anyone can take it up and give like quick introductions about who you are, where you're from, something that you like to do. Yeah, go ahead. Bharti, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Um to introduce myself, I'm Bharati Kannan from Tamil Nadu. From the engineering background, I did my BTech in electrical electronics engineering from Pondicherry Engineering College, and then joined as a marketing trainee in a material science firm. Then I worked in the sectors of electronics, material science, aerospace, defense, and semiconductor for their material requirements, and slowly grew within the same organization for 7 years. And then I'm here now.
Superb, superb. Lovely. Anyone else? Prajna, you want to take it up?
Sure, sure. Yeah, I started off as a chemical engineer, and I got into one after right after graduating. I got into one of the consultancy firms for BWSSB, which is like the Bangalore Water and Sewerage Board.
Okay.
And after that, I had my own startup for around 3.5 years. And then after that, that was into drinking water distribution. The
Hmm.
business was into that. I'll probably dive into that later. But then after that, I got into B2B technical sales in a company called Grundfos, which is basically into it's a global company into water solutions. They manufacture pumps for HVAC systems of buildings, plumbing systems, wastewater applications, all of that.
Hmm.
And yeah, after that, I'm here. I am actually a Kannadiga. I'm from Karnataka only. So I think IIMB was like a very natural choice for me, and I'm very happy to be right where I am from. So yeah.
Superb. Superb. Rakshit, you want to go ahead?
Yes, so I was born and raised in Bangalore, and I pursued my bachelor's in engineering from Amrita School of Engineering, Bangalore. So lived all my life here for 29 years now, and IIMB was the obvious choice because of that. And then, so in my final year of engineering, I took up a course on digital marketing, switched streams, moved into social media marketing. I worked with a sports media company called Sportskeeda, then with a gaming company called Garena. And most recently, about 4 years ago, I moved to LinkedIn as a creator manager. And I've been in the social media, community management, creator management space for about 7 years now. And yeah, been addicted to my screen. So I've installed these bricks and different things to like stop myself from getting more addicted. So trying to get away from content as much as possible. But I thoroughly enjoy the space. And here I am now. Mm.
Oh, superb, superb. Interestingly, all of you have like a common thread in sales and marketing. I didn't even realize. And that is also kind of my domain. So it's
Love it.
lovely to kind of connect with all of you. Let's talk about like the thought process. I'm sure like in January, February, you guys were thinking about, hey, should I do an MBA? Should I get into like an IIM? Should I go outside? A bunch of these kind of intrusive thoughts kind of come. So walk me through what was your journey? What was your thought process in terms of कि क्यों MBA क्यों करना है, right? Anyone can take it up, please.
I can start. So I had actually planned to get into the army in my final year of school, and then I even got through the NDA exam, SSB interview, and that's when I broke my foot. And I had to get
Oh.
about 6 surgeries on my foot, and so I
Mm.
gave up that dream, and I was like, okay, next best option is engineering. Let me just go into that. And I was trying to
Correct.
figure out what I wanted to do while I was in engineering. And what I did was I stumbled upon this fancy term called marketing, and I wanted to explore that. And I actually started enjoying it, meeting different people, working on events, working on, say, operational work and different things. And
Mm.
so I realized that towards the end of my engineering that I want to move into this domain. And so I started building my profile for marketing and then going like taking up a GMAT or GRE course and then moving into say to study MBA after say 3 or 4 years. But what happened was while I was giving the GMAT, it took me a lot of time to get the right score. And by then, with the whole geopolitical situations and everything happening, I was like, okay, do I want to do this abroad or do I want to do it in India? It makes a
Yeah.
lot more sense in
Yeah.
India. And I spoke to you, Shivam, I spoke to Anshika, I spoke to so many other folks,
Yeah.
and I realized India makes a lot more sense. And even the opportunity wise, the way the country is, the trajectory of the country, and the opportunities that you may get here is would be a lot more substantial, and it would also not bother you with respect to the visa and everything as well.
Yeah.
So ROI perspective, considering all of these things, I figured India makes more sense. And IIMB, when IIMB happened, it was, I guess, it was the first school that I heard from on December 24th. I remember. I was like, okay, I'm set. I'm not even going to bother about any other school. It's one of the top schools, and I'm happy I'm in Bangalore as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
here that's how I picked Bangalore.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Anyone else wants to take it up?
Okay, I'll take up this question. So when I started my career in marketing, anybody who is into manufacturing industry in marketing knows that it's not just a sales and marketing job. You will have to do a bit of every function. So I did that. I did that for 5 years. And I was able to scale a manufacturing product from X revenue to 10X revenue, basically. So that gave me a passion into manufacturing, and I always wanted to be a part of India story, which is now scaling up into electronics, semiconductors, medical manufacturing, etc. So when you want to be a part of India story, Indian Institute becomes your natural choice. And I'm from basically from Hosur. It's just 1 hour from here. So IMB became my natural choice actually.
Oh, interesting. What about you, Prajna?
So I feel like I think like a lot of other people, I started my GMAT prep in order to kind of apply to universities outside of India. But then again, like Rakshit said, it took a long time for me to get the right score. And
Yeah.
then I kind of sat on that score because a lot of other things were happening. Like what I realized was with my startup, the revenue was kind of, it was running on autopilot. It The revenue was kind of stagnant, the growth was stagnant. So that's when I decided to kind of leave that and get into a sales role,
Yeah.
but in my industry. So because all of that was happening, I was interviewing at places. I kind of sat on that sport for quite a bit of time. But this role, the recent role that I did, which was a purely B2B corporate sales, right? Like it's in an MNC, and I kind of understood the larger picture about all these things. Like it's not just about sales; it's about your relationships with your customers. It's channel partner management. It's so
Yeah.
many other things. So I kind of understood that, and that kind of um, sparked that thing again. Ki I should retake this MBA journey, and till then, I feel like again the geopolitical situations had become such that I started exploring Indian schools. And in Indian schools, IIMs were the top choice. I mean, even if you Google it, the first three schools are IIMs. So that's when I started my application journey. Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Now let's skill building aspect, and I think that especially all three of you, have very unique and different profiles. How should one kind of go about things? What did you think? What did you do differently that maybe people could kind of get help from. Anyone can take it up.
Okay, I'll take it up. So, from what I understood, looking into the profiles of the recent cohort that come in, everybody has did in the first 5 years of their careers something unique, something excellent for 5 years. It's not just that they are prepared for GMAT or they prepared for CAT. They have really did well in their careers. And apart from careers also, many of them have achieved a lot of things. It just so happened that MBA has become a part of their story. So if anybody wants to get into MBA at IIMB, I would recommend to do well in your careers, do well in what outside your careers, and let just happen naturally. MBA just happens naturally for you.
Hmm. But when you're at the 5 year, 6 year work ex, now you can't do much, right? You can't really change your background. So
Mhm.
how would you change your SOP building or like your interview kind of process or stuff like that?
I can add on to that. So that's something that I was struggling with as well. So what I did was, with the help of another admission consultant, was that to try and identify that common thread in my
Mm,
also AI tools, to find that
mm,
common thread in my career journey right from when I was young, before
mm,
college, to
mm,
now.
mm,
So what I realized is the common thread in my career journey was that I always like building from scratch, or like working in a place where there are uncertainties and I had to like build stuff. So that was my thing. That's what I had to do in college when I started, when I did not get into the student council and I had to start a TEDx event for that year.
mm,
Or
mm,
then in my first work, like at Sportskeeda, the social media team was quite new. I took up affiliate marketing. Then with Garena, again, I was in the first few members in the social media team. And at LinkedIn as well, the community management team was very new when I joined. So it is all I was always one of the first few people, and I realized that that was quite challenging, as well as something that was very interesting for me, and I was drawn to that. So I built on that story. So I would suggest people to look at such stories that they may have in their career journey or in their life
mm.
experience, and try to tie them all together.
Yeah, I agree. I
Uh,
agree.
I
Good.
also want to add on to that. I feel like I agree with Rakshit. I feel like what um, what is the reason why you took a certain decisions. I feel like if you're able to justify that, if you're able to kind of tie everything together, um, like that's what you're going to be selling, right? You're going to be selling your story at the end of the day. So I feel like um, especially for me, my career has been very non-linear. um, like I took up chemical engineering and then I worked in corporate for a year and then immediately left it for starting a new, my own startup for around 3 years. And then I get questioned a lot, ki, why did you quit that? Why did you get it back into corporate? But everything has a reason to it.
Yeah.
So, like in my startup journey, I realized that, okay, I wanted to build something, but that did not turn out the way I wanted it to turn out to.
Yeah.
Scaling became a very big problem, even though that was into, again, water solutions. Through that, I kind of realized my love for sales because my
Mm,
first role was not in sales. It was a purely R&D job, but it was a desk job. I realized that is not, I'm not meant for that. So through my startup, I realized customer interaction is something that I really love. Talking to people is something that I really love. And I want to be in a customer facing role.
yeah.
So that's what pushed me into a B2B sales role. And I'm pretty confident that I want to continue in that space. So I think, again, there was a thread that kind of, like the story made sense. Like I
Yeah.
learned something throughout the journey.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think what kind of Bharti pointed out, ki your first 5 years of your career are very important. And that's very true because like if you see it in common between all the specifically the 1 year programs,
Yeah.
your 5 years you can't change, right? We have folks who have, dropped out of the UPSC. We have folks who have had failed startups. We've had failures also. So don't let that bog down, but
Yeah.
try to strengthen your profile overall by really talking about the nuances that you've learned at each step. Right? Every failure has character building, it has like personality development. I think IIMs don't see failures as how the society sees failures. Really kind of double down on your failures, if I can say, because I think that is where the real learning comes from. But no, beautiful. Next, talk about like your interview. How did that go? What is like what advice would you have for folks preparing for interviews?
I had a very
Um,
interesting. Okay, Prashna, go ahead. I'll go after that.
Um, yeah, so I felt like my interview went really badly. Like I was so disappointed right after the interview. I remember going to a restaurant right opposite IIMB, and I was like, I don't know what went wrong. Like I had prepared everything. Like I knew my resume by heart. I knew each and everything about my resume. But there was no response from the panel. Like it felt like but are they like, even satisfied with my answers? Like there was nothing, and they kept drilling me. It was a lot of questions. It felt like the interview went on for like 35, 40 minutes. Um, and on top of that, it's like you get called in batches. So there were six other people along with me, and I was the last person. So that anxiety kept building up for me, and it felt like it didn't go well, and I was like, I am not sure. I'm really not sure whether I'm gonna get through this or no. But then yeah, it turned out to be good. So yeah, yeah. So that's my interview story. Yeah,
I
Rakshit,
think
you
I
can go
had
ahead.
yeah, I think I had a similar what's that experience. So I was the last one out of the 14 folks, even from the other side and my side. And because of which I remember the person came and he's like, "Oh, so you're the last one." I said, yeah, I am." He's like, "Yeah, somebody has to go last." And it was all good till then. I went inside, I sat, and then they said that you've been hearing from everyone outside. Like, what are people asking here? Like, what are people's experiences? I said,
Yeah,
yeah, I've been hearing, I didn't want to use the word grilling. So I said, yeah, people, I heard that you've been asking pointed questions to people. Some people found it challenging, some people found it comfortable. So it was varied experiences. And they were like, okay, if you'd like us to ask you questions, what would you like us to ask you about? I said, ask me
brilliant.
about my job. I enjoy my
Yeah,
work. So my whole interview was about LinkedIn. And
right.
yeah, so they asked me about, say, what I'm doing. Then they asked me about like how LinkedIn is making revenue, about say why. Then I mentioned premium is not doing well in India, and they grilled me about that. They asked me questions on why is it not doing well, why is
Yeah,
Naukri doing better than LinkedIn. And after a point, I did mess up because I did not have a lot of answers, but I did try to justify, but I fumbled, and that hit my confidence as well right there. And I remember
mm,
at one point I was like, okay, I lost my train of thoughts. Let me get back. I told them that. And then towards the end, because Shivam, you mentioned about failures, they did ask me a question on that. Tell me about a time when you had a failure at your work that impacted LinkedIn significantly. And it's not like, okay, you can just turn it around and say that, okay, this was my learning out of the failure. No, it was a failure and you could not do anything about it. So I had a
yeah.
story for that. And I think that impressed them because I remember when I was
Mm,
talking to the person about the story, I finished it and I turned the person in front of me. He had a smile on his face. So I don't know. It did not hit me at that time, but later, now when I reflect, I think that authenticity and that story helped me. But as Prajna mentioned, after the interview, I was dead. I was already very low, and I was like, okay, this interview is gone. It's not gonna
it's
happen. Then
done.
when I got the call, I was surprised. I remember, I think I texted you as well, Shivam, saying that the interview wasn't great, and you said, wait for it. You never know what'll happen. So yeah.
I
Well,
had a similar experience to you are saying something. Yeah,
no,
I
no,
had
go
a
ahead. I was
similar.
just saying.
Yeah, I had a similar experience to Rakshit. Even before the interview, we had the VAT, and for it was a peak Trump season basically. we were all expecting a question on regarding what's happening
Tariff.
outside on Trump and tariff. But you know what? What was the question? The question was about three tiger cubs dying in a zoo. That totally came out of syllabus, and everybody was caught off guard. We were asked to analyze and answer about three tiger cubs dying in the zoo, and what will you do if you are the wildlife protection activists, etc. So that
Lovely.
was our question, and then we had a similar experience similar to Rakshit. I was the first one to go, and it was a good cop bad cop kind of situation where one was grilling, another was supporting in a way. But at the end of the day, where Rakshit had a moment of smile, I also had a similar where they asked what you want to do after your MBA. I said I want to go into manufacturing sector, but you will not get placed in manufacturing sector is what they said on my
Mm,
face.
yeah.
But I did go against them and said, if you know what, if you are not going to get me placed in manufacture sector, I will go out and take it myself.
Mm.
So
Mm.
so, so that's
Very,
where I
very cool.
also I saw a kind of smile in their face that time.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think it's very simple. Of course, all this is in hindsight. They're looking for like characters. They're looking for strong personalities. Someone who's authentic. I think authenticity is one of the biggest problems today, where everything is, kind of built by AI. So you're looking for people with real stories. Uh, Also are good people, and you can feel that vibe. I'm sure you guys are also senior folks, right? When you interview someone, I think in 2 minutes you can recognize if the person is good or bad, right?
Yes.
So these guys are, I mean, these professors are super senior. They know exactly, what that student is going to say. So be authentic, be true to yourself. Don't put out unnecessary data points that you don't know anything about, right? Even if it's like, for example, your business and your business did only like 1 lakh per month, it's still a good amount. Don't try to, sugarcoat it and say that whatever ARR and MRR words, right? Don't do that. So, oh, brilliant. I think
So
coming
I
to
just
like,
want to,
yeah, yeah, go
sorry,
ahead, go
sorry
ahead.
to cut you off. Want to add to your point that I feel like the interview process is much more important probably than even your academic, scores and your GMAT scores, because I know a lot of people whose interviews did not go that well and they had a very good GMAT score, but they couldn't get through. So I feel like my advice to people who are, preparing for an IMB interview, again, be very authentic. If you genuinely don't know the answers to certain questions, you can try, you can tell them, hey, I'll just try to answer this. I'm not sure about it completely. So I think that kind of gives a good impression to them that, you're not trying to make up stuff,
Yeah,
and you're being true to yourself. And just, I would say that understand your resume really well, understand your story really well, because at the end of the day, they're going to be grilling you on your resume, your experience. So it's okay to not know everything, is what I would say. Yeah.
superb, superb. All right, so next question is the holy grail of all questions, right? Which is in quotes, why MBA? So what was your why MBA? Anyone?
Oh, okay. So I defined it in three ways. You take the first one, why MBA for you? Uh, I want to fast track my career in manufacturing sector, and since I'm already in a place where I'm leading, collaborating with multiple departments in sales and marketing, I want to be into general management where I lead multiple departments together. So that's my why MBA for me. Then there is two other questions I recommend that you answer before going to any interview. Is it why MBA for the people around you, and why
Mm,
MBA for the nation at large?
mhm,
Or the world at large. So for the people around you, it's and for the nation at large, I answered in a way that manufacturing sector creates jobs And
Yeah.
I personally feel happy when many jobs are created. And that's how
Mm.
I answered my why MBA. And it's
Mm.
important also. You cannot lie about your why MBA because people catch it. So you should
Sure.
talk about what you are passionate about.
I agree. I completely agree. Anyone else?
Um, so I don't really have a, like an answer like that. But to be honest, for me, at this point in my career, I am still at a individual contributor role. So I feel like MBA right now makes sense to me in terms of like getting into some kind of a management position or like leadership position, right? So
Mm.
that is one reason why I wanted to do an MBA right now. Second is again a very honest answer. I feel like sometimes in these industries your salaries are not that great, and for me, that was also another motivation to sort of get a hike in the salary.
Yeah.
So I feel like these are two of my motivations to do the MBA.
And for me, it
Interesting.
was
Yeah.
similar to my, say, story as well. For example, I did engineering, then moved to social media. And although right now I'm not really in social media, I'm more like a social media strategist. I'm working
Yeah.
on business development, etc. Still, I'm still in the social media domain. And if I continue in this path, I'll be, say, tag as a social media expert, and I wanted to branch out. I wanted to explore more and learn more as well, because I don't come from, say, the business education. I don't have business education. So for me, MBA made sense because it would give me a lot more options. It would help me understand where I want to pivot. I still don't know what I want to do, where I want to pivot. Is it marketing? Is it strategy? Is it consulting? Is it Gen Man? But I think because this 1 year would at least give me that opportunity, that options to pivot, and also to maintain my, say, salary band that I'm in at the moment. So that way I feel like it I don't have to, say, drastically change my life in order to, say, move into a different role or into a different function and different industry. It would give me that opportunity. It would give me that career flexibility.
Yeah. All right. Super. Super. Okay. So now in a few days, not even like months, you'll be joining us on campus. Uh, what are your thoughts? What are you expecting out of the MBA program?
I can banking on my previous answer as well. I think more clarity. That's something that
Mm.
I'm looking forward to, because I remember I think I spoke to you and Anshika about, say, which direction do I take my career, and I spoke about, because I think Anshika mentioned she went into strategy and consulting, and I asked
Yeah.
her what's her perspective on that. She said you'll have courses on strategy, take those up, and then see if you find it comfortable. It will be difficult, but do you find it, say, do you enjoy the subject? If you
Yeah.
enjoy it, then go towards strategy. If you enjoy something else, go towards that. So I'm looking to experience these courses and and talk to people and learn from them, and out of that get some clarity and take a decision to where my career has to go towards.
Great. Bharti? Yeah.
So
Pradnya?
Yeah.
yeah, should I go ahead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, along with everything that Rakshit has said, the other things that I'm looking forward to is also meeting the people, meeting my batch, because the people that I've already interacted with, I'm getting to learn so many new things. Everyone's from such different backgrounds. Some people are from the Indian Army, some people are from, like Rakshit himself, like a LinkedIn marketing genius. So he's giving us classes as to how many posts you should be putting on LinkedIn, how do you get more traction, what kind of pictures you should be putting, all of that. So it's like the cohort is so diverse. I've
Yeah.
met only like probably half of them, and I've learned so much. Just spending, I'm just looking forward to spending time with each and every person and learning from them. Um, Second is I'm also trying to, I want to do things that are going to be challenging for me. There are certain things that I've always wanted to do, but I've never done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really have, for a very long time wanted to create content. So, and start like a personal brand or something like that. So I want to start that journey. I want to do things that I usually get scared of, like maybe, public speaking, if I get a chance to, go on stage, MC, all of that, just build my confidence overall. So there are certain things that, sometimes when I think back, oh, I could have done this in college, I could have done that in college, I could have led a team in college, I could have, you know, everything for like an all-round development. I feel like I'm also looking forward to, use this 1 year to do all of these things. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, super. Bharti?
Yeah, adding on to Prajna, one of the things I'm looking forward is peer-to-peer learning. Let's say I want something on finance. I know that in my cohort there is someone on finance. I know that there is someone in from the army. I know that there is someone from the entrepreneurial background. So
Yeah,
anything I want, I know that I will get an answer from them. So that's the peer-to-peer learning I'm looking forward. Apart from that, I'm going to go berserk on everything that is going to happen in IMB, starting from the farewell. I never sang before. Now I've picked up singing along with Rakshit and Prachliya in the farewell. So I'm going to try everything that's going to challenge me, from content creation to sports, and I'm going to take everything because I have a pretty good clarity on where I want to go. I will head in that direction, as well as try everything new that, at the end of the day will you know nourish me into a better human being.
superb. What are you also nervous about before getting on campus?
Definitely
Uh,
academics.
yeah. Yeah.
We have so many things to do at IMB. How do we balance academics to those is something that I'm nervous about.
Anyone else? Anything?
I think for me also that because I've been in Bangalore, I've always stayed at home, and even engineering and everything. This is the first time I'm moving to hostel, so I am slightly nervous. I'm just thinking about, okay, how will that be? How will that happen? But I'm also looking forward to it. I've been meaning to get out of my home for 29 years now, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Superb, superb. All right, so like I'm sure like you've done your research about the college and everything, right? So, what are some things that kind of have struck with you, and you're really excited about that part? It could be anything. I mean, acads, it could be, yeah, fest or whatever.
Yeah, I think during the Fivel last week is when I was speaking to Bharti and a few other folks, and I realized that there are going to be 1,200 students in the campus. And we were just talking about how the campus is, I mean, it is big, but it's not that big, and 1,200. So I'm looking forward to meeting so many people. And also, I've been hearing from, say, your batch folks as well, where they were just talking about go and network, talk to many people, build that network because you will get more opportunities and you'll
Yeah,
get to be part of PGP, say clubs and events and stuff as well. So that is something that I'm looking for. I did not realize that there would be 1,200 people, but now that number stuck in my head, and I'm looking forward to that.
it's actually more than 1,200 because it's
Really?
600 PGPs. Then
Oh
you
wow.
have EPGP of 75, 85, whatever. Then
Mhm.
you have PhDs, which is around 50, 60 people. And you also get to interact with other programs that come. So
Yeah.
it's way above 1,200. But yeah, you're right. I completely agree. Anyone else?
Uh, I think I am most excited while doing my research. I think I, of course, went through the campus pictures and everything, and I think I'm so excited to use the sports facilities. Like I might not be good at sports, but I love playing sports, like all kinds of sports, badminton, table tennis. I want to swimming, all of that.
Yeah,
I want to do make use of like the entire sports facility really well, full paisa vasool.
yeah,
And even I've heard about the library as well, that it's a pretty, the cash library. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, something that I've heard from the seniors your batch as well as the previous batches that professors are really passionate people on what they really teach. So I'm looking forward to those passionate case studies that they are going to bring to the table. That's one,
Mm,
and the international immersion that's going to be the part of the course.
mm. Yes, that's definitely going to be fun. Superb, superb. So, like, I know we kind of touched upon a few things, but uh, what kind of skills do you think you're planning to, take up and learn them well at campus?
Okay. I have already seen a lot of my batchmates have a good people skill, and I will probably learn from them. There are skills that you can't really teach, but you can only observe people and you
Hmm,
will pick it up from them. So I would like to pick up those skills from my peers for
superb.
myself.
Very nice, very nice. Anyone else?
I think for me, now that there are a lot of people, I've seen the batch that there are a lot of people from the technical side of things. And now with AI and thing being prevalent and people, and even Claude, and even in my company also, they're encouraging us to build
Yeah,
tools using Claude and using, say, different agentic tools. So I'm looking forward to like learning more of that because I mean, whichever industry or in whichever function you're in, it is going to be there. AI is going to be there. So you need to have some knowledge or some skill. And I'm hoping to learn that even in the classroom as well, along with my peers. So that is something that I'm looking forward to.
very cool, very cool. Prajna, anything you want to add?
Yeah. One is adding to Rakshit's point, like I'm already seeing people who come to campus for the preparatory classes. They're using all these, AI tools to make summary out of all the notes and all of that. So that it in itself is learning. So yeah, that about the AI stuff, I want to get more into that, and then I would say overall confidence, people
Mm,
skills, confidence. I feel like the more knowledge you have about all the industries that you're going to be learning from, the people that you're interacting with from your cohort, it's going to give you more confidence eventually to, when you finally go out there. And then I think um, through the 1 year, I also feel like I will get a clarity as to which direction I want to take my career into. I feel like this is one
mm.
chance I'm going to get where I can sort of pivot in my career um, seamlessly, right? So
Yeah,
um, that is something that I've been thinking
superb,
about. Yeah. Mm.
superb, superb. Talking about careers, what career shifts are you expecting? What domains do you want to personally get into? Would love to hear your thought process behind that as well. Anyone can
I
take it up.
definitely
Yeah.
want to go into manufacturing industry, even though it's not a typical MBA thing. But in manufacturing, I don't want to go into sales and marketing. I would like to take up something that apart from sales and marketing, so that tomorrow I will get an experience on every function so that I can lead the company one day.
Nice. Superb.
So something that I'd written on my SOP was Genman because I feel like that will give me exposure into different functions and then I can make a decision as well. So trying to squeeze as much time as possible from my experience, even from school and at work. But otherwise, if I have the opportunity to work in marketing, that would be something that I'm good at and I have experience in. I would love to do that. Otherwise, strategy is something that I'm exploring. I don't have a definite answer, but I am trying to explore as much as possible.
Superb.
For me, I think what I've noticed in my industry is that a lot of people kind of continue in the same industry for a very long time. It's difficult to break through that. I feel like this MBA is going to give me that opportunity to get into maybe FMCG or like keep sales as a skill and then change industry. So I feel like I'm looking for more than a role change. I'm looking for an industry change. I can tap into a larger set of industries. So yeah, that is what I'm looking forward to.
Badhiya, badhiya. Superb. I think we are almost at the end. Yeah, before ending, I wanted to sort of do this quick AMA. I mean, do you guys have any questions for me? Because I think I had a lot of questions, and I remember picking up the phone and calling people ki ye kaise hoga, wo kaise hoga. So yeah, I'll open up the floor to you guys now. Uh, the incoming batch of 2027. Do you have any questions for me?
I have something to say. Before my interview,
Yeah,
I watched your first episode. What happens in an interview
yeah,
in your channel, and I went. I would like to thank you for that and keep doing what you're doing now.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Okay, my question for you, Shivam, is that what is one must do and what is one must not do when you're in
Hmm.
school? Mm.
Hmm. Must not do would be uh, don't try to ride on your previous uh, work X slash rank a lot.
Mm.
You might be the CEO of the company, but when you are in the EPGP batch, um, you're in a level playing field, right? Everyone has made it. They've given the GMATs and the interviews, and they've come here. All of you are going to sit in one class, essentially, right? So I'm not saying undermine your work X, but don't overestimate it as well, right? So come with a clean slate. Uh, Come here to learn. And do's is definitely network, network, network. And I think network is a very loosely thrown word a lot of times. When I say network, I mean actually be curious about the other person, right? Try to really understand their story, where they're coming from. Everyone has a unique story here. Everyone, be it the EPGPs, PGPEMs, or the PGPs as well, right? Uh, you will learn so much from so many things, and it's crazy because like when I interact with PGP folks, uh, they might seem very innocent, very basic in the sense, but they probably come from like the IITs of the world, and they have like CAT 99.99, right? So you don't know whom you're gonna stumble into while having this conversation, right? So go out there, learn from people, get out of your hostel, stay outside. The campus is beautiful. Go out for long walks. I'm sure you guys will do that. Any other question?
So I'm sure the kind of questions you asked us, like what you're looking for in an MBA.
Yeah.
Now that you reflect on your journey, did you get that, and what more did you get out of it?
Very interesting. I came here, of course, there were like all those regular reasons for an MBA, which is pivot of career, peer-to-peer learning. But I also came here for a strong pedigree, which is the IIM Bangalore brand name, right?
Mm.
Uh, it definitely puts a lot of weight in your resume. I don't come from amazing academics or academic background. So this kind of definitely helps you. It will definitely open doors, and I can see that happen, right? If I put a DM in anyone's LinkedIn, they will at least open it, you know?
Yeah.
So that is definitely something that I've learned. Apart from it, something that I personally wanted to do, which I know you kind of touched upon, was sports. So I used to play sports back in school, college, and then of course I had to quit everything because I had my own business. Uh, it does get tough during while you're working, right? But I leveraged each and every sporting event, sporting activity, and the facilities that we have, and I actually got better at it in the 1 year, right? So I've gotten fitter, I've gotten more agile, and it really helps me in my studies as well. So
Mm.
it's kind of this holistic development that happens when you're doing. So yeah, I think sports is something that I picked up. And I'm really happy for the MBA journey to kind of help me unlock that.
But do you
And
actually
it,
get time to play sports regularly? Because I've heard so much about the academic rigor
Yeah.
that you'll be up at 2 till 2 a.m. doing case studies and pre-reads and all of that. So do you actually get time to play and
you will learn how to make time.
mm,
So even like now, I slept what 3 o'clock last night, and I'm up. Right? So you will
yeah.
learn how to make time. You will learn how to um yeah ration your time, so to say.
Mm,
Right?
Mm,
The first couple of weeks are going to be insane. You're going to be hell confused. Lots
mm,
of insecurities, lots of self-doubts. Uh, which class में समझ में नहीं आ रहा, finance report कैसे बनानी है, all those things will
yeah.
happen.
mm.
And then somewhere you will realize that everyone in the class is feeling the same. Right? It's not just you, right? And that kind of becomes an equalizer. So that is what I was kind of hinting at when Rakshit asked the question, right?
Mm,
Even if you're a CA, you might be the best in the FRA classes. There is someone who's better than you in some other classes, right?
Mm,
So it's actually a level playing field. Uh, but yeah, even if the course is intense, I would strongly suggest make time for physical activity because you really need it.
yeah.
Like even scientifically speaking, aerobic exercises, help push more oxygen and, keeps you sharper and agile. And it's very important to do that. So you will get time. It's not that it's impossible. All of us have, we hit the gym or we play football, and there are a lot of opportunities because IIM Bangalore has a very strong sporting culture.
I heard there are
So
trainers also, right? Like for particular sports, there are trainers who come
yes.
in as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So you can, like, I picked up Ultimate Frisbee, right?
Wow.
I'd
Oh,
never thought that I'll play that game, and I actually made it to the team, right?
Uh-huh.
oh.
So you can pick up literally anything and try to master that. Superb. Anything else?
I mean, because you mentioned networking, I have a follow-up question on that. What's something
Yeah.
that's helped you? Because there are so many students, especially PGP folks and PhD folks. How do you just go and like, what do you go and strike up a conversation about when you meet them? Like, there are no, I don't know if there are much interaction, like common interactions, like when classes, I know there are classes that happen like towards the end of your year, but apart from that, when they come in after term two is when they come in, I heard. So, how did you do it?
So there are formal ways of meeting, but I'll probably explain that when you guys come on campus, right? But essentially, you just go to a person and say, "Hi, my name is Rakshit. I'm from
Mm,
EPGP Batch. Who are
Uh-huh.
you?" Right? And trust me, people are super responsive.
Mhm.
You go to the badminton field, you say, "Hi, I am Prajna. I want to play badminton with you. Are you okay?" So it's quite straightforward, honestly. And people
Okay.
here are super nice. I am Bangalore probably has the best people. Um, yeah, that's about it. It has it's a culture. It's a culture here. And you'll realize that
yeah.
once you kind of come.
Looking forward to it.
Superb. Superb. All right. So I think the last question would be, since now you are uh, the incoming batch, I'm very excited for you guys. But what would be your word of advice for folks who are probably planning to they're probably doing their research, कि MBA college जाना है, right? So what would be your advice to them? Uh, Maybe a few pointers that you kind of picked up on the way that you should have done, maybe, something like that, right? So yeah, go ahead. Anyone can take it up.
So I'll go ahead. So I feel like there might be certain instances where you feel underconfident.
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, if you have a very good story on your hand, if you have a very good, thread that's tying your entire resume together, just go ahead and take that chance because I feel like, in my case, I was slightly underconfident on my GMAT score. But then I quickly realized that I do have a good profile because I have
Mm,
entrepreneurship and I have B2B sales. So I feel I sat on my score for almost a year and then I applied. So I feel like
yeah.
don't do that. If you're feeling underconfident, I feel like you speak to people, you speak to the alumni, you speak to a few friends. You can take up some kind of consultancy services for your resume building and all of that. Maybe they can help you out. But I feel like just take that chance and you just apply because I did not have a lot of hope, especially after the interview, but it turned out well. So yeah, that would be my advice.
I think adding
Superb.
on to Prajna, there is no formula to get in.
Mm,
So you never know what will work, what will not work. Like for some schools, you may be like a perfect fit. For some schools, you may not be a perfect fit. And you will not know unless you apply. Even your score, to be honest, or even your profile, you may feel like your profile is not good enough, but it might be perfect for a particular school. And it might be because of your personality or your some other factor. So there is no way to judge. It's like how people say you won't know unless you ask. So that's
mm.
something that I would suggest people to just apply and see what happens.
Uh,
Superb.
to add on to Prajni and Rakshit, GMAT score matters only until you get the interview call. Post that, your story, your why, and what you're passionate about, those things matter more than GMAT and what you have did in your past, academics, etc. Those things don't matter. So when if you're applying for IIMB, you should be passionate about something, do
Yeah.
something, and then come here.
In hindsight, it's actually crazy, right? How much you slogged for your GMAT and you
Yeah.
really wanted the perfect
Yeah.
score. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, yeah, GRE, GMAT, whatever competitive exam that you give is important. Try to make it to at least the cutoff, the average, whatever they post on the website. Uh, and I would even say that try to be on the higher side to improve your
Mm,
chances.
Yep.
mm,
But at least apply if you really think you're passionate. I think in India we kind of make a lot of hoo-ha about MBA and the grandeur of it. But really, MBA is about a bunch of smart people coming in together and trying to be collaborative and learn, right? So that's kind of my perspective shift in the 1 year. Superb. I think this has been wonderful. Thank you so much, all of you, to spending this time with me. Very excited for you. Anything you guys want to add on? Anything, any parting thoughts that you have? Feel free.
No, I mean, put your best foot forward. All the
Yeah,
best. Yeah.
lovely,
yeah.
lovely. All right, cool. Then we'll end this video. Thank you so much, guys. Superb.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shivam.